Through the many years at Weslaco High School, during the good times and the bad, whether winning or losing, the Panthers have been able to count on the cheerleaders to always be there. Purple and white they wear with pride, representing not only the school but the community as well. They are as part as Friday night as the football team, the band, and the energetic crowd at Bobby Lackey Stadium. They lead the cheers from the field, hoping for another victory. And when it's all over, they stand with the Panthers together in honor of Weslaco High School. It's a proud moment for those who cheer on the purple and white.
Well, I think that's probably my proudest moment, being part of Weslaco High, because you look in the stands and you see all these people, hundreds of people just there to support you, people who went to Weslaco High, people who have kids here at Weslaco, and what the football players do, the band, the pace setters, the cheerleaders, just all the coaches. It's just your one moment to just stand there and just look at all your work that you've done, and you're just so proud of it and saying that this is my school.
But there is more than just pom-poms and yelling. When it comes to being a Panther cheerleader, it takes a special person.
You have to have somebody that's really passionate about the sport and love what they're doing, and so you have to be like a supporter, like you have to be willing to support the team.
It's great to be a cheerleader, but I'd rather you be a good cheerleader but also be able to lead, be somebody in the school that people can look up to, not only just be a cheerleader and that's it and just kind of go home. I try to tell the cheerleaders it's good to be a cheerleader, but always academically be up at the top.
Our first responsibility is our academics. Without our academics, we can't try out for cheerleading, we can't be on the field, on the court, wherever it is. So academics is our first and main priority. We also need to be physically fit. I know we run a lot because cheerleading is not an easy sport, and if you're not in shape, you're not going to get anywhere. And you just have to want to cheer. You need to be enthusiastic. Those are our main priorities: athletics, academics, and you need to want to cheer and be enthusiastic.
You want to keep the spirit alive at the school. You want to keep the football players going. You want to let them know that they're going to do good, and you want to support them, and you want to keep the crowd going too.
And it's not just the right attitude that's needed to be a Panther cheerleader. There are physical demands as well. Those girls at the very top are being held up by some very strong girls at the bottom. Some people say it's not a sport, but these girls think otherwise.
Cheerleading is exactly like any other sport, because in any sport you're going to have teamwork, dedication, and commitment and discipline. And in cheerleading you have to show up to practices, you have to be committed, you have to do everything that you're asked to do, and you have to be a good role model in school.
I think cheerleading is definitely a sport. To me it upsets me when people say cheerleading is not a sport. What I say is, if it's not a sport, why does it require a physical? Why does it come out on ESPN? So to me it's a sport. You're lifting people, and it's just as dangerous as any other sports. Like football, you can get hurt just as bad as any other sport. So I would definitely say it is a sport.
I think it's very much like a sport because we get bruises too, we stretch. We're throwing flyers 15, 20 feet up in the air, and when all 80 pounds of them fall down on our arms, we get bruises too. A lot of stretching, it's a lot of physical, a lot of strength, and a lot of movement. It's kind of like aerobic movement, I guess. But it's definitely not just sitting there and waving some pom-poms.
I would say it's harder than a lot of sports because you get bruised and hurt a lot. See, I have a bruise right here. I don't know if you can see it. But it's from stunting. It takes a lot of work and muscle.
Here goes. 1, 2. Okay.
When you see the stunts, when you see them in practice, they fall, they get bruises, they get hurt. They can get sprained ankles. Unfortunately, if they're not caught correctly, something could be broken. So I consider it a sport. Somebody else might not, but I think the amount of time that we put into it, I think makes it a sport.
And like any other sport, you have to make the team. Remember, not everyone is cut out to be a Panther cheerleader. You have to be a leader in the school and also be able to jump and do stunts. For that, there is practice every day before school even starts during the summer, and then during the year it's practice, 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 because people are watching your every move.
Jumps can make or break you because the other cheerleaders are looking at you from across the field. So jumps, and then we'll review dances and cheers and chants, and whether we're going too fast or too slow, and there's a lot of pressure, and I think people do in the stands, they look down on the track and see who's off count, who's on, who's not cheering loud enough. So I don't know, we feel pressure to do our best and to help the school look its best.
We will stretch. After that, we'll jump. We'll usually separate into squads, our JV, our freshmen, and our varsity groups. We go over cheers or chants, anything that we missed over a football game. If we missed a cheer, it wasn't correct, we'll go over it, we'll repeat it constantly over and over for the whole time we're here.
Work on cheers, we work on dances and routines that we've learned over the summer, and we perfect them, and then we perform them usually at pep rallies sometimes or at games, and we just prepare mainly for our games on Friday.
I mean, we can't go out on the field. I know our coach won't let us go out on the field if we're not prepared, if we don't look prepared, if we don't look well, so we practice until we get it right.
There's like 60 different cheers to memorize, chants, there's a lot of dances, and there's more work to it than people think.
All the hard work is worth it. It pays off on Friday night, when thousands are at the game. The cheerleaders are on the sidelines, making sure the Panther spirit is alive and well.
Here come your Weslaco Panthers!
That's the best. Every Friday it's like kind of like a rush. You get out of school, you have to go get prepared for the game, get all the little last minute things you need, and then when you're out on the field and you just look up the stands and it's like you feel like this adrenaline, and then you see the football players and they're all pumped and ready and focused. Like you can't tell them good luck before the game because they just have that look, like they're determined to win, and the crowd they go crazy, and we just like to support our guys and keep the spirit alive.
Go Pants, go! Go Pants, go! We're just as excited as all the fans are. All our girls, we know about football. We have to yell defense, offense, so we need to know what's going on. But we're just as excited as everyone else is, and I would say it's more fun for us being that we actually lead the crowd in yelling, so game day is an awesome experience under the Friday night lights.
Game day is just as exciting for us as it is for the football players, but I think we get to have more fun and they have to be more serious. But it's just as exciting because we're down there with them, and we really do want them to win, and we really want the crowd to get into it with us and to cheer, and it affects the football players, when the crowd's not as motivated or as loud as, the opponent's crowd. And, just somehow we try to do our best to get them as involved as possible.
Starting lineup for tonight.
It's fun. It's fun preparing for the game, just being out there right beside the guys. Hearing everyone yell is amazing. It's probably hard to hear in the crowd while you're yelling, but down on the field you can hear everything, and it's awesome. It's an unforgettable experience. Being with your team, no matter if you win or lose, it's just like it says, in victory or defeat we stand, and that's what we do. It's fun being with your teammates and the other girls in front of the community.
For the seniors on the Panther cheerleading squad, the games will soon end, but the memories will last forever.
I'm glad I decided to do senior year, and I know it's something I'll remember. My grandma was a Panther cheerleader, so it's definitely memories and just moments with my friends and all the great girls that I've gotten to meet.
I think I've been blessed to have all 4 years in high school with a good team. I know it's it's been awesome being able to have a good team the whole 4 years, being able to go to the Alamo Dome, play San Antonio schools. I'm definitely going to remember my high school years, especially being with all the girls on the cheerleading squad.